So, good morning. Good morning and welcome to this morning's session. My name is Clara Rufai. I'm known as the Shine Strategist. And I'm obviously very excited to be here. I'm so proud of what WEF is achieving in the world for women and the men that support women. It's a very proud moment for me to be here at 25th, no less, 25th anniversary of the annual WEF conference. So today I've been asked to speak on the subject, expressing ambition for fulfillment. Expressing ambition for fulfillment. And before I do that, let me just quickly introduce myself. So my background is in law. I have some 26 years of legal practice under my belt. And I also show up as an author, a 3-time author of a award-nominated book, and also show up obviously as the Shine Strategist, founder of the Shine Philosophy, and the convener of the Leap and Shine Conference. I'm from London, United Kingdom, and I bring you greetings from there, obviously. So the topic I'm going to be talking about basically is expressing ambition for fulfillment. Obviously, ambition, if you look at those two words, ambition and fulfillment. Ambition is the start of the story, and fulfillment is the completion of it. And the first thing that I'd like to quickly get out there is, if you have an ambition and it's either not written, or you don't have goals, or you don't have a structure to pursue that ambition to completion, then it's not worth anything. It's not worth more than the paper that it's written on, basically. So it's one thing to have an ambition, it's another thing to fulfill it. How about, I use myself as a case study this morning to talk about an ambition that I had and how I went on to fulfill it. But first of all, before I do that, a little bit of background. My story, my Shine story, as I like to call it, started back almost 18 years ago, 15, 16 years ago, when I lost 2 of my sisters in a boat accident on the same day. Now, that traumatic event obviously sent me into depression. And it was a very difficult time for, not just for me, but also for my family as a whole. And I couldn't understand what was happening, but the one thing that I remember feeling very, very bitter and I'm a Christian, very angry at God about, was the fact that 2 young girls, 14 and 18, who still had their lives ahead of them. They had plans. Oh my God, those girls had plans. They had lots of plans. They were excited about life. They were looking forward to, doing things, achieving things. And then one day there were no more. It was literally a moment that stopped me in my tracks. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to process it, especially as a person of faith. How could you allow this happen? How could you allow this happen? And why did this have to happen to 2 of the sweetest, most innocent girls that I know? So it was a very difficult period for me, and I'm sure you can tell that there's still, some kind of a leftover of the emotions. But how did I recover from, the bitterness and the anger? I told myself one thing. I realized one day, after, all the crying and all the anger and all the bitterness, I told myself one thing: my sisters are gone, as in dead and gone. They're not coming back. And they haven't had the chance to live their lives. How about I live for them vicariously? How about they live through me vicariously? How about I go ahead and make sure that every single thing, gift, talent, everything that God's put on the inside of me is fully activated and expressed. And that's how I began my Shine journey. But from making that decision as the first step of coming out of depression, from the time of making that decision to the time of me actually beginning to fully express myself, there lay a long, dreary road. And as you know, the entrepreneurial journey can be, very lonely. In my case, I have a very high-pressure job, as a lawyer, as a corporate lawyer in the investment management world. So with that busyness meant that I had precious little time to express the softer side of me, the softer skills, the things that didn't have to do with the core of my profession, which was law. And at a point, I will admit that I did feel like I was a fraud. I didn't feel like I was an imposter. You're a lawyer, you studied law, so just do law. I mean, you have a good job in the City of London. One that many people would, one that they say pays a 6-figure salary, one that many people would do anything for. What more do you want? I even had family members, people close to me, asking me that question. So at a point I was made to feel like, you're asking for too much, you're too ambitious, you've got a young family, and I'm an older mom with younger children. So you've got a young family, you need to be focusing on those things and not pursuing more, wanting to achieve more, wanting to be more. What's all this talk about? Wanting to be more. But let me tell you something, my ambition burned in me long enough that I knew that I had to do something about it. So one day I sat down, I called my husband and my children to a meeting, and I said, I am going to go after my dreams. I said, not that I haven't always known it, but it's just dawned on me, it's been reminded to me in the spirit that I'm not just called to be your wife, I'm not just called to be your mom. As precious and as weighty as those roles are, as important as those roles are, I'm called to do more, to be more. I'm called to be a voice, I'm called to be a leader, I'm called to transcend the, if you like, the local or the physical limitations of the space in which I'm sitting, and I'm called to reach out globally. I'm called to, I mean, people in Germany, people in America, people in other cities across the world should have a chance to connect with my brilliance, and I am going to pursue my brilliance. Let me tell you, from that moment of making that decision, literally I have been wanting to write. Writing is my thing. Writing is, I enjoy writing. I write limericks, inspirational little pieces, which I share on Facebook, I share on social media. And first and foremost, I always tell people that those pieces that I write inspire me. I'm the first partaker. They inspire me before they inspire anyone else external. So I began to write those pieces, I began to gauge the feedback. And I saw that because I started to be consistent and I started to do it on a daily basis, people were connecting with what I was writing, people were consuming my content, people were looking forward to my content being part of their day, to my content inspiring them, motivating them, and just charging them to go for their dreams. So then I knew that I had a call, if you like, upon my life. What did I then do with that ambition? So ambition is expressed. Ambition was, I would like to be the poster child for, if you like, working moms, sleep-deprived, overworked, wanting this and wanting that. You have to keep your career in place, you have to keep your dreams in place. Which one do I go for? I need to satisfy my other half. I need to, there's so many responsibilities in the real sense of it. I once joked that I'm being pulled in all directions, and none of them, there was hardly enough time to say, this is me, this is my space, this is me time. But I had to find a way, and that's what I believe everyone else needs to do. So I came up with a philosophy that I call the SHINE philosophy, and SHINE is not just a word. SHINE actually, in its expressive sense, stands for soaring higher into new expressions. And the reason I came up with that is because many people would look at me and say, you are an accomplished individual. You are a 6-figure earner, you're a lawyer, corporate lawyer, almost 30 years. And what else do you want? You're accomplished, you have something that other people would want. What else do you want? And I said to them that no matter who you are, no matter where you are on your journey, there is always a next level. So regardless of whether you've started the journey, or you're in the middle, or you're at the top, even when you're at the top, hey, you even have a greater job when you're at the top. Because when you think you're at the top, then you've got to send the elevator back down to help somebody else up. And that in itself is a weighty commitment that's laid into our hands as leaders. So I decided to start expressing myself in the SHINE philosophy, because my intention was to teach this as a belief system, as a way of life, as a way of achieving dreams. Not just dreaming dreams, not just hoping for things, but achieving them. So what does SHINE stand for? I'll quickly break it down. Apart from the fact that in its expressive sense, as I say, it means soaring higher into new expressions. So every day, in every way, you're trying to be better, you're trying to do something, you're trying to be, the only person you're competing with, as I always say, is who you were yesterday. It's not anybody else, because you've got to be authentic and run your own race. So SHINE, the S in SHINE, stands for start. No matter who you are, no matter what your dream is, how little, how big, I don't care what your dream is, you've got to start. And that's the problem with a lot of us. We're letting so many things stop us. We're letting our prisons, and incidentally, the name of my book is Prison Break, the 9 to 5 escape agenda. And that just talks about, taking the leap from limitation into liberation. Because at a point, I did think that my day job, my corporate job, was a prison of some sorts. Now I think of it a little bit differently, though. Now I think of it as a fundraiser. Because without the money that job gave me, I could not have done what I've done. I could not have afforded to pay the people who work with me, my team, to have a website, to do my podcast, and all the other things that I've gone on to do. So I look at it as a fundraiser. And because I'm not yet in a position to live, and to leave my job right now, what I do is I find a way to balance it. And if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. But if you don't want it bad enough, you'll find an excuse. So I decided to start, and starting for me just simply meant that I connected with somebody who I felt could help me express, could help me take me from where I was to where I wanted to be. I got myself a coach. I invested in myself. I deemed my dream worthy enough to put money behind it and say, will you teach me? Will you help me? And I didn't go to her, and I say this, and she says it back to me. I didn't go to her because she was more brilliant than me. She always says, oh my God, Clara, if I had half the things you had and all of that, if I had your eloquence, if I had your degree, if I had your, but I could see that she had something that I admired. And that something was resilience, hard work, and tenacity. And her life itself told the story far more than the coaching points that she was giving me. So I worked with this lady, and she was able to get me to write my book. I did the work, but she was able to coach me. She was able to basically put that boot in the backside and say, go on, do this and do that. So I was able to write in 64 days a book that had been inside of me for 2 decades. 64 days, exactly 100 days from the day that I wrote my first line. I was standing in a room full of people, of about 150 people. I was launching my book, and apart from my wedding day, I think it was the proudest moment of my life. And I celebrated myself. So that's what SHINE stands for. And the reason I'm here today, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, is because I started. What is it you need to start? Who is it you need to start? Who do you need to ask questions to? What sort of research do you need to do? What do you need? Just sit down and write those things down and determine to start. Beg your pardon. And the H in the SHINE philosophy stands for harness. So basically you're looking to harness your skills, harness your talents. You're sitting down and asking yourself, who am I? Where am I? Where do I want to be? Why am I here? And who are the people? And the harness has a double meaning for me, because I also talk about human harnesses. In some ways, the coach that I worked with very early on in my journey, she was a human harness. And what's a harness? A harness is basically something, it's like a bridle, that's put on a horse, and it just gives the horse tunnel vision and forces the horse to go in the straight and narrow, go in the path that the rider of the horse basically wants it to go. So she became a human harness, and I have loads of mentors and coaches and loosely called people I admire, people who I look at what the work they do and I want to be like them, and I have conversations with them, and we have this kind of, if you like, intellectual masturbation. Because there's this, when you are a creative person, you're looking for someone to meet you on that level, and both of you go on a journey together. There are times when my current business brand strategist is talking to me, and I said, oh my God, I just had an orgasm. I said, Clara, it's true, oh my God, this is so exciting, we could do this, And she's as excited as I am by that process of creating. So this is how you harness. You have to find out what it is that your skills are. What are you good at, and how can you harness them? That's a very key step in the SHINE philosophy. And the I stands for identify. You're identifying the people that you're called to serve with your skills. You're identifying your market, your target audience. Where are they? Where can I find them? Where do they hide out? Are they on Facebook? Are they students? Are they working mothers? What are they? Who are they to begin with, and where can I find them? And you're using, obviously, there's quite a lot of information and applications and technology that's available to us in our current world. So we're really lucky, to be alive in such a time as this. So you need to find and identify not just your skills, but also who you want to serve with those skills, and also how. So it's the who, the how, and the what your skills are. That's crucially important. And of course, the N in the Shine philosophy stands for network, which is what we're doing here. WEF is fantastic. I wrote on my Facebook, and there was quite a lot of engagement with it. I said, the key thing about WEF that excites me is the fact that they believe that everyone's story is important. They believe everyone should have a voice. And they've given different women of diverse cultures, diverse accents, diverse languages, diverse, personalities, a, global stage to just stand there and be proud of what they do, what their message is, and to express it in their own way. We don't all have to sound like, orators, but we come here, we stand in our truth, we stand in our authenticity, and we share our stories. So networking is key, it's important, and you've got to find which networking circles or which networking expressions, what basically work for you. I've got networking that I do with people I went to secondary school with. I'm still in touch with some of my primary school, mates, and I'm in touch obviously with other people professionally at network as well as, in other ways. I have a WhatsApp group that allows people to network, mentors to network with mentees, because what I do in that WhatsApp group, it's called the Shine Mentoring Hub, is that I bring thought leaders and influencers on a weekly basis to come and share their stories, and the mentees are able to connect with mentors that they ordinarily wouldn't have been able to pay for their time or connect with or pick their brains in any way. So that's an enabling, because for me, I've got many titles to my name, but the ones that excite me the most are enabler, inspirer, and encourager. So I really take those roles very seriously. And the E finally in the Shine philosophy stands for express. So now you know what your skills are. Now you know who your human harnesses are. You have an idea of how you want to go ahead to express those skills, who you want to serve. How do you actually express? Expressing is basically giving the people that you're serving an experience that they will never forget. An experience that leaves them wanting more. An experience that leaves them wanting to, to follow you, to listen to what you have to say, to consume your content. And I always say something, I do not necessarily like the idea, or I don't subscribe personally to the idea of asking people to follow me here, follow me there. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. The thing I do say is this: if you're authentic and if you're running your journey, your own authentic race, and if you stand in your truth and speak your truth, however it comes out of your mouth, somebody somewhere, and it doesn't have to be, I believe in the power of one, it doesn't have to be everyone, but somebody somewhere will connect with it and say, oh my God, Laura, how did you deal with this when it happened to you? God, you lost 2 sisters in a day. Oh my God, I lost my mom. And I thought, and then instantly you become an authority for that person because you've gone through what they're currently going through. And you can speak, not because you had to go to university and get a degree for grief or sorrow or mourning, but because you've been through their experience and you're able to put a hand out and give them a hug and say, this is how I went about it. Or just say, I don't know how I went about it if you need me. It could be anything, right? So that is what the Shine philosophy stands for. And I have personally, I've used the Shine philosophy in so many ways to take myself from, my dreams, which is the ambition, the thought, that dream you have of, oh, if I was this, if I could stand in front of, the stage, 2,000 people and speak, or if I could go to India for this conference, if I could do that. You take it from that state, which is the expression of the ambition that's internal, and then you take it to the fulfillment, which most of the time is external. People see that fulfillment, people see my website, people consume my weekly podcasts, and people see a lot of my expression. People are touched and encouraged because of my mentoring group and all of that. So what I would like to say in closing is to say that if, and I think I said this to begin with, but it bears repeating, is that if you have an ambition, if you have a dream, if you have a thought, and you haven't done anything about it, then you need to start. And start is the very, very first word, is the very first thing that you have to do if you subscribe to the Shine philosophy. Of course, I tell everyone, I recommend everyone to subscribe to the Shine philosophy, because you first have to start, then you harness, then you identify, then you network with the right people, and then you express yourself. And ultimately, what we're all called to do as humans on the face of this earth, I do believe that each one of us has greatness eating on the inside of us, but it needs activating and it needs expressing, and there should be no apology about it. We should be expressing ourselves, expressing our brilliance, and touching lives on a daily basis. And these are the things I'm passionate about. So me going from being depressed, to writing my book in 60 days, launching my book, and to now being a thought leader, someone who is creating platforms for people to express themselves, someone who is creating platforms for people to show up as who they are, to connect with other people. That's meant the whole world to me. And I'm proud of my legal career, but I keep telling people that this is the most energized and the most excited and the most connected to humanity I've ever felt in all of my life. So I do recommend you the Shine Philosophy. If you want to talk to me a little bit more about it, I'm happy to share. So I hope that you've been able to get something, and there's something that will, activate your own shine in your life. Thank you for listening.
Amazing speakers and mentors. I am not a mentor, I'm not a speaker. So I can just share my experiences, how I started, what is my ambition for fulfillment, how I fulfilled my ambition. Just to be precise, that I am a mother of two, 15 years of my marriage, 16 years of my marriage now. And I started working 12 years after I got married. Reared my children, and then there was time to, fulfill my ambition, where I stood for myself. So I'll wrap up my session in six points in fact. Let me just tell you what I do professionally. I'm a stationery stylist. Most of you from the Western countries must be knowing about the profession, though Indians are not very familiar of it. But I create and manufacture luxury corporate stationeries, and especially for the kids as well. So this was something very new in India, and I'm an accidental entrepreneur. How it happened, I was just going through the international websites for my children to get those luxury stationery done for them, their personalized stationery for them. So we could not find much of them in India. Though there was one vendor across, and I was supposed to use my credit card for that, to give the payment in advance and get the stuff done. And my husband, being very skeptical, no, I won't share my credit card details with you. I said, okay, fine. I took it up as a challenge, and I created the entire stationery for my children in 1/3 of the price that I was getting it for. So there where my journey started as an entrepreneur. And yes, over the period of 4 years now, I am established not only in India, but yes, we have a couple of clients, and most of them resellers and clients in the Western countries as well. Now, what was my ambition and how I started fulfilling it? For me, improve your self-image is my first point. Believe in yourself. Had my husband not challenged me, had he not been, telling me about not giving his credit card details to me, I would have not been an entrepreneur. I believed in myself. I thought that yes, I can do it. I'll get it done for myself no matter what. I took it up as a challenge. I believed my energies. I believed in myself. I believed in what I wanted to do. And I got the stuff done, and I am here right in front of you. I think believing in yourself makes you perform better. So I won't be, just sharing my experiences, nothing very professionally. I'm just, expressing what I felt and how I felt. The second point is put in the work. How you want the things to happen, you must act and do. I have a range of more than 250 products lying under my company. And how I intended to make a particular product, though it was not easy. We did all the research, we studied about it, we practiced the skills, we planned the strategies. Little efforts made the difference, and we had one product with us. So that is how over a period of a year we came up with 100 products, then 150 products, then 200, and now we have more than 250 products. So strategizing, studying, knowing about that. So that is how you put in your work and put in your efforts to get the best out of it. Now a third point. Use your emotion to motivate. Feelings, if properly channelized, will make you move and make things happen for you. Your feelings matter the most. What you feel inside, until or unless you feel what you are doing is right or wrong, you won't be able to accomplish it. You have to feel that yes, what I'm going to do, I'm just talking about how professionally, not a personal note, but yes, when professionally you know which direction you are going in, where you are moving in. If you're feeling you're doing it right, you will do it right. If you are a little skeptical about your movements, you will not be able to find ways and you will not be able to find what you are actually doing. Manage your internal world. Your world starts in your head. Again, it's a similar, coordinated point. You have to tell your mind what you want to achieve. You have to set your goals on yourself. This is my point. This is where I'm going to reach. You will find ways yourself. It also includes another point is believe in the law of attraction. I think most of us know about it. If you attract good things, the good things come back to you. If you attract good people, the good people come back to you. Similarly, while achieving your goals, if you are attracting your vibes, you will get those people to yourself wherein you want the work coming out. If you are not feeling positive, oh, if I'll be able to do this or not, we won't be able to do it. I have to do it. I was manufacturing a particular product which was not easy because customization means one product at a time, and there are certain things which we cannot customize. And I was talking to my husband, I said I want to make it. He said possible, it's not possible. I said we have to make it possible, no matter what. We went out in the market, we looked at the people, we paid 3 times the manufacturing cost, we made it. Until or unless if I would have thought, okay, this is not being able to make, let's leave it. No, we have to make it. No matter what, no matter how much you have to struggle for it, no matter how much you have to go out and look for market, you have to do it. Until or unless you will not believe in yourself, you won't get it. Again, as Clara said, expand your network. Successful stories always inspire you. And successful people are always there to guide you. So you have to move out, meet people, grow your network, ask for help. So I think we Indians especially, I have hardly few Indians and only my girls supporting me. We Indians have a tendency for not asking help. We won't ask people, oh, I want this, how can you help me? Usually Western people are open for it. But we guys feel skeptical, oh, it's my reputation will go off if I ask for help. No, we need to go out and ask for help. No matter even in business, your personal life. But let me just talk to you about, professionally, yes. Until or unless if you will not go out, you will not ask for help, nobody's going to come and help you. Nobody's going to come from the front and say, okay, you want my help? No. You have to go out, meet people, tell your stories, share your experiences, ask for help. Certainly, the ways are found. So I'll just sum up in all this, and I think almost all the points, as Clara said, we are all talking on the same platform, right? So there's nothing much I can discuss. Yes, this is my idea, and this is how I am following and fulfilling my dreams. And I wish you all a very, very best of luck. If you are still, working out on achieving your dreams, or if you're still thinking how to get to your point, nothing is impossible. That's how I can say.
Okay. Guarantees. Good morning.
Good morning.
One thing I know for sure is that everything, I do mean everything, is temporary. That moment, my friends, was your life. As is that, and that. You get the drift? I know, perhaps more than most people in this room, just how temporary life can be. If I make a mistake today, you must forgive me. I'm taking that as an instruction, not a request. You must forgive me because I'm not 7 until September. 26th of September, much like our Queen, not that I'm royal, much like our Queen, I have 2 birthdays. My actual birthday, which is 2 days from now. Woo! My real birthday was the day I decided to choose life, not death. which sounds dramatic, and I'm quite a dramatic person, but nevertheless. 26th of September 2012, I went to see my GP for some routine blood results. Routine in the sense that they were one in a very, very, very long line of routine blood results, which were becoming increasingly worse. Long story short, because it could quite literally take up the whole conference, long story short, I was admitted to hospital 24 hours away from death, with end-stage liver failure, chronic kidney disease, etc., etc., etc. I don't actually remember much of the first 5 days, and if that wasn't enough to make me wake up and smell the coffee instead of Chardonnay, which is what put me there in the first place, then I may not well be stood here in front of you. However, 5 days hence, my consultant came to see me, and he said, "You are a very sick young lady." And I laughed, because I was just happy he called me young. I was 52, I was like, yeah, I'll take that, I'm young. And he went, no, I'm not joking. You're a very sick young lady. I would like to think that you're going to walk out here on your own 2 feet, but I have to tell you that you won't be doing that. You're not going to be going home, you are still dying. Boom. My already temporary life had just got a lot more temporary. And I remember going, shit, I haven't got any time. What time left to do, be or become all the things that I wanted to do, be and become. I screwed it up. I managed to screw 52 years up. Except I hadn't, because I now know that everything I experienced that took me to that point served to make me not only who I was then, which is a different person to the one I am today, but more importantly, who I ultimately became, which is the person that you see before you today, who insists on dressing in purple for no other reason than it's Donny Osmond's favourite colour. And if it's good enough for Donny Osmond, it's good enough for me. But that aside, I suddenly understand for the first time how valuable this precious moment that our lives are. When we get to the end of our time on this planet, and we look back, and we deem that journey to have been our life, ultimately, that self-same life is nothing more than a string of incidental moments that we've strung together. And when we put them one on one after another, it forms the tapestry, the film, if you like, the story of our lives. I also understood that day, the day that I was told I was dying, that actually, we, individually, all of us, are the authors of our own story. That's a cliche, but it's true. If we do not write the story of our lives, we're not living intentionally on purpose. We're living on automatic pilot. If you've ever got in a car and driven from A to B and then got out and gone, how did I get here? That's how I lived most of my 52 then years. Not today. Today I wake up intentionally, on purpose, way before the alarm. I don't always know where I'm going to be. I told some people that I was in strategy. Clearly I'm not. However, I'm human, not perfect, and I embrace that these days. I am, in fact, as are we all, perfectly imperfect. To pick up on what Nick said, impossible. Split the word up, ladies and gents. When you split the word up, it says I'm possible. I can't claim that, that's already letters. But the point is this. We, all of us, without exception, can do, be and become whatever it is that we want to do. I always had ambitions. When I was a child, I was going to be an actress. I didn't. I got to drama school, and my imposter syndrome kicked in. Who the hell did I think I was? I wasn't good enough, clever enough, rich enough to be an actor. You need lots of money to support yourself if you're going to be an actor. I wasn't good enough, tall enough, rich enough, poor enough, clever enough, beautiful enough. You know, my dad used to say I had a face for radio, bless him. It was true. It was true. Who cares? But I did care. I did. But I didn't let anybody see it because I went like that. And as a small person, physically, I became smaller. I became invisible. I was unwilling and unable to be brave enough to ask for help. Had I done that, you know, the story that was then my life may well have been a lot different, and I probably wouldn't have ended up here, to be fair. That person 7 years ago was always the same height, which was 7.5 stone heavier. Yeah. She couldn't breathe, she couldn't walk. My mental health had always been frail. It had descended to near fatal alcoholism. The day I went to see my GP, I was already as drunk as a skunk, and it was 9 o'clock in the morning. Because at that time I was drinking 5 bottles of wine per day. Every single day. And I don't say that as a matter of pride. I don't. I'm sorry?
So it stops. I noticed you were trying to record it.
Yes?
It has stopped, so I'm trying to...
Oh, bless you. Okay.
I'm recording. I am
Okay. I'll put them all together. Thank you. The best laid plans. Bless. Okay. Technology is also not one of my strengths. Where was I? Oh yes, I was drunk. Yes. That's 5 bottles per day. Ah, Lordy. The brain cells went a long time ago. I woke up and smelt more than the coffee the day that my doctor told me I was dying. I realised for the first time ever that the power to be who I wanted to be was here, inside me. It always had been, much like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I always had that power. I can never quite fit in red shoes, but I always had the power. And I'd chosen to bury it. I never expressed my ambition fully, and therefore I never became fulfilled. And therefore my mental health declined, and the local shop got very rich on my habit. These days, it's a different story. These days, having survived, and I did insist on walking out on my own 2 feet, because I'm from Yorkshire and don't like being told we can't do anything. I walked out there on my own 2 feet to start rebuilding the story of my life. And these days, I don't even know what the ending's going to be. Because whatever it is, it's going to be better than what very nearly happened. I don't concentrate on writing the last chapter of my story. I get up in the morning and decide to write the next sentence. And sometimes, because I'm human, that next sentence actually is only the next couple of 3 words. Because that's all I'm capable of doing. But every single day, I let somebody in this world know who I am, where I am, that I'm there for them if they need it. But more importantly, I do something every day that will take me towards my ultimate goal. And for me, today, that means living another day. And stringing a lot more of these accidental, incidental moments together that we come to call our lives, because this is all we've got, ladies and gents. This is it. The Greatest Showman song, This Is Me, which I'm pretty sure most people on the planet now use as their own anthem, is certainly one that I could have written had I had that much talent in terms of applying it to my own life. This person, purple clothes or not, this person is somebody who stands before you today actually proud of who she is. I sort of like this dude inside this purple suit. Yeah? I still got a face for radio, but I don't care. Because I know that I, as are you all, am enough. It's that simple. Today I run a company called Fear Less and Live More, largely because I spent 52 years fearing a whole lot more than I was living, and I realise what a waste of time that is, to be fair. So my company's called Fear Less and Live More, and I encourage people, women particularly, to stand up and be counted for themselves. The ambitions that they may or may not have, the hopes and dreams and aspirations that they may or may not have. It doesn't matter. Forget societal norms. There is no, I'm here to tell you for true, there is no such thing as normal. There is no such thing as normal or perfect. Forget them. They're ideals. If you want to do, be, or become something, then just do it. Don't concentrate on the how. You'll never get started. Just do. Take one step. Make one phone call. Ask one friend. So just that tiny little bit of help or support. And sometimes that's all you need. Sure, set goals. Have a plan. But don't beat yourself up if you don't stick to that plan. So what? if you don't get to the end of your to-do list. Hello, newsflash. Unless the sun falls out of the sky or you actually do expire during the night, you're going to wake up tomorrow. And then you can start again. It doesn't matter. What matters is that here, if you're happy and healthy and whole, it transpires to here. We, ladies and gentlemen, not this 3-pound organ inside our brain that we loosely call our mind. I've lost mine far too many times to count. We, not our minds, are in charge of our own destiny. Whatever it is that is right for you in this life, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations, is right. If anybody, and I do mean anybody, ladies, husbands, spouses, partners, children, best friends, if anybody tells you, you don't want to do that, you can't do that, but women don't do that, hello. That's a whole different conversation, but that aside, no. Your life, one life, depending on your beliefs, one life, no return, no deposit, no second chances, and very definitely no refunds. This moment, as temporary as it is your life, ladies and gents. 86,400 of those seconds in any one day, every day that you're gifted. We're all born, we will all die. That is a fact. We will all go to sleep at night, and hopefully most of us will wake up the next day. Fact. 86,400 seconds in each of those 24-hour periods is what we are all gifted. Fact. If you are not using as many of those 86,400 seconds as you possibly can in a way that is happily, healthily, and wisely serving towards making you whole and fulfilled, then you're wasting them. And unlike an overdraft in the bank or an overdue credit card, you can't get that money back. You can't get that currency of time back. If you waste 86,400 seconds today, so what? It's just one day. But when we string these incidental days together and look back at a life that we've wasted, trust me, when you look back over 52 years and think, shit, I haven't got any time left because I'm dying, that's a bit of a wake-up call. Oprah would call it a light bulb moment. I had so many fireworks displays going up in my head, I can't even tell you. To sum up, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do in your lives today, know, own, accept and understand your own truth. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, your own truth. Understand it, know it, accept it, and validate yourself, because whoever and whatever you are in this life, no matter what you become, as long as it's right for you, it is right. And above and beyond anything and everything else, whoever and whatever you are, ladies and gentlemen, you are enough. My name's Sue Kurt. These days I help people to feel less and live more. And apparently I'm doing a fireside chat this afternoon at 3:45, who'd have knew, called Everything Begins and Ends With You, which is also coincidentally, the name of my Facebook group. Find me on Facebook, I'm all over there like a rash, as my children, my grandchildren say. Come find me on social media, I'm happy to chat later. 4:45, it's a chat about everything beginning and ending with us, which essentially will be more of the same as this. Far too many of us in this world don't think we're enough. That's a crock. Break that crock and rebuild your own vase, because you're all beautiful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.